Hello and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Will Richardson, your host. It's good to see you. In the next series of episodes, we're going to take you to the Powszyn Nature Park. It's on the south side of Warsaw between Wilanów and Konstancin, and just on the edge of the southernmost neighborhood of Warsaw called Kabaty. So come along, I'll be telling you a couple of jokes and also a hair-raising story from the aviation history of Poland. That's all here on Poland Daily Travel. We don't just tell you what the food is in Poland or where you can go ride a go-kart. No, we tell you about the history and the way life really is, and throw in a little entertainment as well. And stay tuned for our local special guest stars. Poland Daily Travel. Why do we do it? We do it for you. I'm Will Richardson, and thanks for watching. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Poland Daily Travel. We're here in the forest in Kabaty. And I just want to say a couple of words about air travel. It's something that we take for granted, but over 3 months of quarantine, and in some cases, some areas longer than 3 months, we've not been able to travel by air. And it's changed everyone's life. Of course, the first thing you think about when you think about air travel is all the jokes about waiting in line and the security checks and the terrible food and no leg room and all the other things that happen when you fly. But of course, what's in the back of everybody's mind is not flying, but crashing and burning. Well, the statistics tell us that being in a motor car and driving on the motorway, autostrada, whatever you want to call it, is much more dangerous. But imagine, if you will, 150, 200 years ago, how long it took to travel 1,000 miles, how many weeks it would take, how long it took for the American settlers to go from the East Coast to the West Coast by covered wagon, using a wagon with wooden wheels, pulled by horses. How long would that take? And then you can appreciate what an absolute miracle flying is. But it doesn't always go well. And I'm about to tell you a story after the bumper about one tragic incident in travel history of Poland. Stay tuned. Here is the marker to the crash of the Tadeusz Kościuszko LOT Airline plane on the 9th of May, 1987, 33 years ago and a couple of weeks or so. And this was the greatest air disaster in the history of Poland. 183 people. What happened? Well, the plane took off from Okęcie Airport on its way to New York. It was flying north towards Grondziec and Gdansk to make its turn and go across the North Atlantic. Of course, first Europe, then the North Atlantic, obviously, to JFK, and then on to San Francisco. It never made it. What happened? What happened was this. The plane was ordered to reach 18,000 feet fairly quickly in order to avoid military training flights on its way north before it made its turn to the left to approach the Atlantic Ocean and New York, where it would refuel and go on to San Francisco. Unfortunately, as the plane hit its thrusters, the turbine and two of the engines broke down, and this created fires in both of those engines almost immediately. It was the sheer thrust, immediate thrust. If the plane had not had to climb and accelerate so quickly, this incident probably wouldn't have happened, in fact. But it happened through the stress on the engines from the acceleration. The plane turned. It was close to Gdansk, but it decided to turn. It was closer to Gdansk, but it decided to turn and come back to Okęcie, where the facilities for air rescue were more extensive. And that included not landing at Modlin Airport, which was closer even on its return, because they decided that the facilities at Okęcie were, in fact, much better. As the plane came back towards Warsaw, a fire started. They shut down the engines, so that fire was out. But they lost stabilizers, and before they could put out that fire, it had pieces from the engines had ignited a fire in the hold. So the plane was burning without their knowledge. The baggage, luggage was burning. And not only that, they lost the stabilizer, which was going to make landing of any kind very difficult. So as they approached Warsaw, the plane began to lose altitude. The fire, as the plane began to lose altitude to approach the airport, in fact, over Piaseczno, the fire became so hot, apparently, that people rushed forward and caused the plane to nosedive into the forest where we stand now. A horrific accident, but any accident like that would be. So those 183 people died. Never take things for granted. On my last flight to the United States from Europe, in fact, we had an electrical fire on the plane. And the way electrical fires go, you never know. If it's not put out properly and quickly enough, you don't know what will happen. But anything that does happen is not good with a fire. At any rate, those 183 people, the crew and the passengers, are here commemorated in this particular place. So we'll go over and take some pictures of that. And that's all I have to say about the flight, the Tadeusz Kościuszko flight that crashed here in the Kabaty Forest in May of 1987. Stay tuned for more Poland Daily tomorrow night. I'm Will Richardson. Thanks for watching.